What's going on, my fellow collectors? Tonight I am looking at the 40th anniversary Star Wars Darth Vader box set. Very cool. This is the only way to get the Darth Vader early. We will get the card in the second series when it comes out pretty soon here, next couple months, if it's not already out at some places right now. But this is the box set. So you get the Darth Vader. You do get this kind of like old school setup where you can set all of your figures on. It gives this little backdrop. This is actually what comes in this set. But the front of the box, you get nice graphics of all the figures, kind of old school Kenner style down here. You get this legacy pack, little strip going across. You get the 40th Star Wars icon. You get the nice little throwback Star Wars icon right there. You do see a little bit of the figure. On the back of the box we got Star Wars, and this kind of tells you more about the display stand with the back card to showcase the 40th anniversary figures. So this is what it will look like with all of the figures on it. Very cool. Very neat. And then down here it shows you the other figures and when they're coming out in the wave. Very cool. But let's crack this guy open and we're going to take a look at the Darth Vader, and then we'll also take a look at the stand. Okay, and first looking at the actual figure display. This is the cardboard display that comes on the one side. Basically just shows all the figures in that old school look. And then you have the other option of this side, which basically shows, the Death Star. Very cool. So you can choose either one of those. Now I'm not going to put this together, but this is the Star Wars logo that you can kind of put up there. And then these are the corner pieces, which just go, around the corner of them. And then you get these bases, which go across the bottom, and you can peg all of your figures into them. Very cool. But let's take a look at the real meat and potatoes of this, and that is the Darth Vader. All right, there it is, the Darth Vader. Very pumped to have this. I'm geeking out right now, actually. But anyway, you get this really cool old school Kenner box that they're doing with this entire line. So that's very cool. Has that nostalgia feeling to it. Very nice. You get the 40th anniversary Star Wars up in the corner. You got Star Wars, you got Kenner, you got the little warning label. And on the back, it kind of continues that old school. It shows you all the figures. And then, of course, it shows you the 40th anniversary Legacy pack, which is what you get with this Vader. Very cool. Now, I'm actually going to leave him carded, but I did open him up because I just had to take a look at the figure. So I already opened him up. Let's pop him out of here and take a look at this guy. Very cool. Now the lightsaber kind of comes to where you have to take it out like that, pulling it out. And then Vader, of course they have it where his cape is all pushed through the back. All right, and here he is out of the packaging. And man, guys, let me tell you, this is one nice looking Vader. Definitely better than the Black Series Vader. Very nice looking figure. Now off the bat, the one thing that really annoyed me is mine got the floppy legs. Oh yeah, got the floppy legs. That's kind of annoying. But anyway, looking at this Darth Vader, look at that beautiful head sculpt. They nailed it this time around. It's got that really nice kind of like maroon color to the eyes, so it's not all black. The sculpting of the helmet is good. It sits nice and low on his head, right above the eyes. And the mask is done very well all the way around. Looks great. Loving it. Now there is no chain, and he does have this kind of cloth material coming across the top here, but all this is done very nice. You get some, you know, decent little clean paint and all the buttons and all the little buttons on his belt. Really nice. And you get this some sculpting on the cod piece, and his legs are really nicely sculpted. I mean, you can see that. Really nicely sculpted. All the way down to his boots, which again look really nice. But kind of like the shiny part, the top of the boot, and then back down to kind of a duller black on the bottom. Very nice. Even the back of the boots have really nice sculpting on them. Really nice. And of course this piece continues on the shoulder, and you get this really nice sculpting going all the way down the arms and onto the gloves. And the cloth goods on this is done really well. Whoops, sorry guys. The cloth, even though it feels like it's quite a lot, I mean it's heavy and but I mean it hangs on him nice. And it's just not bad once you get it, you know, folded. It just hangs really nice. Really nicely done. Let's take a look at the other side. Same thing. Nice sculpting. And of course the back of the figure. The cloth just continues to run all the way down. But the sculpt continues all the way up. Really nice Vader. Now as far as articulation, you do get a swivel at the head. You don't get any up and down at all whatsoever. I mean, there's a tiny little bit, but it's nothing. There's no pivot. You can kind of force a pivot as you rotate it, but that's it. I mean, so you get a little bit of pivot as you rotate it. You can force a little bit of movement, but just because of the size of the helmet, it does restrict it quite a bit. But as far as the arms, they will come out horizontally, which is really nice. He doesn't have a bicep swivel, but the entire arm swivels all the way around. So there's no bicep swivel. You do get I don't know if that's a double or single jointed. I'm guessing it's just a single jointed elbow, but it comes up right about 90 degrees, and you do get a swivel at the elbow. Now, of course, you're not going to get any kind of a crunch at all. You get a tiny little bit forward, tiny little bit back, but there is a cut at the waist so you can rotate them. But of course, I mean, you start pulling on this cloth piece that comes around the front. But I mean, you can get some movement out of it. Now, as far as his legs, they come out about that much. They kind of kick to the side a little bit because of, the sculpt of the cod piece. Comes back quite a bit. You do get a cut right here at the upper thigh, so you can rotate at that part. He does have double jointed knees, but I mean, you don't really get much out of it just because of the sculpting. And that might not even be a double joint. Let me see on the back here. But I mean, that's all you get at the knee, and it's a little bit ugly looking, but now the boot doesn't rotate. Down at the feet, you get some nice back movement. You get some nice forward movement on that hinge, and you do get a little bit of a rocker, but it more or less just kind of, you know, swivels on that pin. And the hands, of course, they swivel and they do hinge. Mine are just really, really tight, but there is a hinge in there. But yeah, very, very cool Darth Vader, guys. I'm happy. I'm definitely happy and impressed with this Darth Vader, even though mine's got the stupid floppy legs. Now his lightsaber is nice. I mean, we've seen this before. You got nice little detail. And then of course you get this nice translucent red, and this does come apart. And the weird thing is that this doesn't peg into him anywhere, but I see this little tiny hook right here on his belt. So I imagine that you just kind of put it on like that. But I mean, it doesn't really stay, and it looks a little awkward, so just making sure I'm not missing some kind of peg or something that goes into, because it almost looks like there's a little spot right there that would like slot in somewhere. But yeah, guys, that is the 40th anniversary Star Wars Darth Vader. Very nice figure. I mean, like I said, you can get him pretty soon, single cardedly, so you know, you're not gonna have to pay 40 bucks if you don't want the base, but I'm sure a lot of you will want the base. So you know, this guy is available now, and he stands right about 6.5 inches tall. Very, very nice. And he does hold his lightsaber well. And there he is. But yeah, thanks guys for watching, and I will see you guys on the next review. Take care.